Greetings, greetings. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming on through. Listen, we got an interesting topic lined up for those that are interested, right? We got Laverne, and we got Shirley, Miss Your Thoughts, and Mr. Kimmy. And we just gonna do it our style, right? Like we normally do. For those that I know there's a lot that's going on these YouTube streets, and you know, give it some balance, give it some diversity. Appreciate y'all coming through. We know it's a late live, but we thank you for your presence. And you could be anywhere, but you're choosing to be here, even if it's just for a moment. And we got Laverne in the back, and anytime she ready, she can come on up and we can go ahead and just get into the topic. What's going on, sis?
Hey, 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 everybody! Peace, peace. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you guys can come on through. How you doing, Shirley?
I'm good. I'm blessed. Even though it's a little, you said, you know how it is, older people. They got the bedtime kind of hollering at us, but we G's up in this piece.
You better know it. You better know it. Went to the gym today and I gave it all I had, girl. I'm trying to tell you. But look at here. And like you said too, Shirley, it's been a lot going on these YouTube streets and stuff like that. And I know that everybody been going live. And I think TJ just went live too now. so, but it's
Listen,
all good. It's all good. This is a big place. The internet is a big place. People are free to do what they want to do when they get ready to do it. And we're going to get in where we fit in and we're going to give y'all what we got. I know y'all haven't been seeing
and for
us.
anybody that's watching it,
Hmm.
they can come in and catch the replay. I'm sorry, there's a delay, but they can come in and catch the replay. So definitely, for those that aren't catching the live stream live, as usual, we gonna give it to you. We gonna drop some gems to
You
chew
better
the
know
meat
it.
and spit out the bones.
Yeah, and I want y'all also to know this too. To all of the subscribers that subscribe to me and Miss Akimi on behalf of us, I want to thank you guys first of all for your patience, right? I want to thank you for your memberships and your subscriptions because you didn't have to do that. And I know you probably are expecting to see us more and things like that. I just want to apologize for me not being more present when it comes to being on my channel or me and Miss Akimi being together on Yokimi, because that's another thing I want you guys to know. I think we try to introduce that channel to you before, that we do have the Yokimi channel together. That's what's me and Miss Akimi as we do our dual thing, right? And we've been doing that for a minute, but we haven't been able to be on there as much again because there's so much traffic and so many things going on these YouTube streets, right? And I'm not complaining. I'm
Definitely.
basically, yeah, I'm definitely not complaining because, like I said, everybody, this is a big place, and everybody have different tastes. And just like a television channel, you have different stations you want to watch, and that's all good. But I want you to know that when we come to you, myself, if I'm on my own channel, or in Miss Akima, she's on her own channel, or if we're dual streaming, one thing you're gonna get is something that you can use for your real life dough. You dig? So
That
come
part.
on in and and kick back. Hey T Smith, thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
good to see you. We got Tremaine Davis in the building. And thank y'all for tapping that like button as you're coming or as you're going. We really appreciate it. We can use all the help we can get as far as this algorithm thing goes.
That's right, we sure can. Yeah, so don't
So,
forget to just kick
Laverne,
that. Yes, Shirley.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, you let me know whenever you ready. We got a nice topic lined up for you. If you would like to introduce the topic, or you just want to go off into the content, you let me know what you want to do.
We're gonna dive right on in here. We're gonna dive right on in here, and we're gonna go ahead and make something move with this because we know that people have to work at night, or the next tomorrow, and things like that. And this is late, but just get used to some late nights because that's probably where we're gonna be fitting in. That's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
So we're gonna dive right on in it. Let's go, Shirley. Let's start off with it. The
All
name of
right.
the title is called "All in the Family." All right. So with that being said, we're going to talk more, we're going to elaborate more as time go on. When it comes to dating and things like that in the family, we've gotten away from the family values and how things go. Everybody is dating anybody they want to date without anybody overseeing them. That's the male and the female. We want to get some structure back so that families can stay together longer and date with intentions of having families, in real relationships. Okay, so with that being said, no further ado, Mr. Keeman, let it rip. Y'all get y'all something to sip on, and we're gonna relax for a few. Let's go.
That part. Let's roll. Listen, we came in hard, raw, and with fire. But this is real life that we talking about. These are real situations. And if more parents and more families vetted the potential significant others, then the situation and the outcomes and the results might be different. Family being the core is super important. I'm always, Miss Yothos is always making that emphasis, always surrounding topics around the importance of the core family and of the family unit. And as a progression as a people, it is going to be essential that it is incorporated, or we're going to continue to be left behind.
Okay, you said a mouthful, Shirley, and that's right. So listen, y'all see how that entry came in about the Bad Boys clip? Okay, that's how it used to be back in my day. It won't gonna be nobody coming to get my father's daughter without him making sure he put some fear in him and making sure that he know exactly who's taking his daughter off, right? He did that. And I noticed that nowadays, half of the time the parents don't know who their daughter or son are dating, right? And we want to see how we can bring that back because it's very important. Because if you don't know who they're dating, then they're in trouble. They're in big trouble, and so are you as a parent, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, and thanks
And
everybody for coming in too. Go ahead, Shirley.
I would rather, to be honest, I know that, for entertainment purposes, that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence did that to make a point. And in real life, it may not be that extreme. However, the point being made and to drive home emphasizes the fact of, guess what? We need to instill some type of barometer and boundaries in place to let it be known that we value our seed that's walking up out this door. We're trusting our daughter or our son in your presence while they are with you in that period of time, to treat it with respect and to treat it with care and to respect the interaction between two. The way that it used to be, court used to be a commonly used word where people got to know each other, people got familiar with each other, people learned each other. And the fact of the matter is that we've lost the art of courting. Now it's bam bam, it's the BBLs, it's the external attraction, and nobody really seems, or many don't seem to get past that, the surface of that initial attraction. And that's where the trouble lies, because anybody can look good, anybody can buy body parts or accentuates their features by going to a beauty supply store or a barber shop or a mall in order to acquire outfit. But what does that give you as far as value as a person? And parents and elders in the family can lay eyes, at least ones that pay attention and that have been taught a certain way, can actually look and listen to the first few words beside the appearance, the disposition, give eye contact, and ascertain a lot about that person that their child is going to go out and be entrusted in their care with.
100%. And Shirley, your mic is breaking up a little bit sometimes in your speech, but we got the majority of everything that you were
Well, she
saying,
having
right? So you might want to just check it for a few minutes, to see what's going on. But again, I agree with everything that Mr. Kimi is saying. And here's another thing. I want to thank you guys again for coming through. I want to call you guys by name. Okay. So welcome T. Smith, Miss Chicago, peace and blessings, Brian Campbell, Tremaine Davis. Hey, 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 riders. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate it, sis. Yeah. Feel free to just go ahead and type in the chat, and y'all, communicate with one another. And back on this topic here, yeah, it's all in the family. When the title is all in the family, is because everybody in the family plays a part in screening who's dating who, right? Because it's going to be all in the family. It's going to be all in the bloodline if they decide to get married, have children and stuff. If something happened to somebody in the family, whether it be the male or the female, you may be stuck with our children to raise. So we need to know who our people are dating, who they are having children, or plan to marry or have children with, right? We need to know their bloodlines. We need to know if they can mix and mingle. Somebody might have sickle cell, the traits. Y'all know when in our black families, sickle cell anemia, that's a terrible disease. And if two people have the trait and they have a baby, then the baby is going to have the disease, right? So there's a whole lot of factors and reasons why we need to get together with this and bring it back full circle on dating. And to follow what Mr. Keenan said, when you talk about the body parts and how people are attracted to the outside of people, no, beauty is not skin deep for real. You got to dig deeper. Let's go, Mr. Keenan. If you have anything else to add, let's go to the next clip.
Let's roll.
Daughters, both who are totally different in terms of personality, but dating is something that's going to come up. And so my thought process behind that is two things. One, as I'm studying in the middle of the night about why this is on my mind and on my heart, I read an article about it's scientifically proven or statistically proven that daughters with good relationships with the man who raises them or their dads will almost always choose a man who fits that category, even on the physical side, facial representation and stuff like that. So when you think about the importance of the father's relationship with their daughter, they are most likely going to choose someone who resembles you in every way. So does your relationship matter? Absolutely. Secondly, it would be to the young men dating our daughters. If you handled it right, young men, your daughter's dad could be your greatest ally, because our equal and shared value is protecting and loving this precious gift from above. So if you do the right things, if you start the relationship with the girl's dad the right way, it will bear fruit. If you don't, if you're disrespectful to the daughter and disrespectful to the father and the mother, we will be your mortal enemy. So it's just something that I thought about today that I wanted to share. So love your daughters, and young men, respect their dads, because fatherlessness is something plaguing the country right now, and we can do our part to fix it by being intentional. Dating is a thing, just better govern it the best way we can. Have a blessed day.
Man, that's a mouthful. He said a couple things that really stood out to me. The one word that he spoke on was intentional, being intentional, and understanding that young girls will, especially if they are blessed enough to have their fathers in their lives present, in their households, a present energy, constant energy, it's just natural that they will be attracted to a man or a spouse, a potential spouse with those similar features inside and out, characteristics, external features, how they look, how they dress, how they wear their hair, how they speak, all of that, how they treat them. Those things have to absolutely echo one another in order for, first of all, the young girl not to be confused. And at dating age, your hormones are raging, you're going through all types of changes. You think you know everything, you think you got it all worked out and figured out, only to get off into something, and then a lot of times it's too late. So I totally understood where he was coming from. And he also stated, if you can get along with the father and acquiesce and definitely show respect to the family unit, which starts with the father in the home, then that person's chances of being accepted by the family and the transition into the family, or at least having a cordial relationship with the family, will fare a lot better, as opposed to, bucking it, or giving it resistance, or being in competition with the father, instead of, working as a team for the best interest of the girl that he's interested in. For the sake of this father speaking, I am saying it can work both ways, but we're speaking because of the video that played, that it was a father that had two daughters that were dating age. But that's what I have on the topic. Laverne, go.
Yes, right. And everything you said, of course, Shirley, is spot on. That's why we get along, and we Laverne and Shirley, right?
That's
Hey,
right.
and I just want to say thanks to everybody that's coming. Hey, Miss Chicago. Hey, Cece. Thanks for coming through.
To the
Beautiful
chat.
comments. Yeah, salute to the chat. Listen, y'all. It is so true that most women wind up marrying a man that mimics their father. They have some characteristics of the father, and vice versa for the boy children. I've seen that during my lifetime. You know, next month I'll be 63, and I've seen a lot. And I want to start with me by example, because I married a man not trying to do it, not knowingly doing it, that is very much like my father, right? Okay, hardworking, even birthday months in the same month. It's so many similarities. You see what I'm saying? Even his demeanor, all of these things, right? So you subconsciously do that whether you know it or not. And he's definitely a protector and a provider, right? So I'm just saying, you really want to make sure that when your children are dating, that you are monitoring them. You are all in their business. You're in their business because they're still underneath your roof. It's not being invasive and they having doors shut and having secrets and privacy just because they past puberty, right? And they think that they're grown and smelling themselves. That's when you need to have your nose wide open, just like they had their nose wide open. You dig? That's the time, right? And have them to date with intentions instead of going with every Tom, Dick, and Harry and just screening through these different people. You know what I'm saying? And giving themselves to them, having sex, right? Before marriage. I
Talk
know it
about
sounds,
it.
I know, yeah, I'm gonna break this shit down because I know it sounds like it's old fashioned, it's antiquated, it's outdated. But let me tell you something. You have to have a strong foundation in order to build anything, including family. Always remember that, guys. And I see this comment about he said that we are the last of the Mohegans, right, T. Smith? Somebody said that in here, and I highlighted it. That me and you, Mr. Keeman, with who said that? No, that was Miss Chicago. Yeah, but it's like time is dwindling down, and there's a lot of older people that's passing on, passing away, or over to another side, or to heaven, or whatever. But they have a lot of Jews they probably going to sleep with, right? But if you hear somebody like me and Mr. Keeman speaking, we're not just talking, but just to be talking. We know that this internet don't pay you millions of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Let's put it that way, right? A lot of times when I come on here, I'm gonna speak real to y'all. I want y'all to really listen. When I come on here, I'm not making money on YouTube. This is not my money maker. I'm doing it because I want to pass something down to my people. I want you to learn something that can help you grow and maneuver through this life. This is why I'm here, and I know this is why Shirley here is here, and that's why we are connected at the hip, because we have the same purpose and moving with the same vibration when it comes to helping our people. And in order to help you, again, we have to have this strong foundation, and this foundation starts with family. And family don't always have to be blood. It don't always have to be blood.
Mm,
It
that's a
have
that's a
you
bar right
understand that?
there. Yes.
So, and moving with that, I'm gonna, rest my case until after the video, next video. Let's go, Shirley.
Yes. Let's go.
Where is this boy at?
He just got here. He's outside waiting.
He ain't coming to the door to get you?
No.
Strike one. Don't like him. He's supposed to come meet your parents. Didn't nobody teach him that? You already got a strike. You couldn't get out the car to come meet the daddy. She ain't got no daddy issues. Her issues is that daddy spoiled her. If you taking her to eat, she expensive. I raised her that way. She gonna get extra fries and all kinds of stuff, so make sure you got some money. Why is your tent so dark on that car?
Okay, so I wanted to let that play, but I couldn't let that point pass by. You have, including my father, and I think Laverne can probably echo the sentiment, right? And agree with me. When fathers are involved in their children's lives, but for the sake of conversation, we're going to say daughters, right? Because there's a unique relationship and correlation there, that the father's job and in their heart of hearts, if they have a healthy love for their daughters, they want to spoil their daughters. They want to treat their daughters how self-esteem and how to expect to be treated by their spouse, by their mate, by their potential mate. That is very important. And this father, even though he's doing it in a comedic type of fashion, he's dead serious. If you know anything about his page, it is strictly around his family, from his wife to his children. And he does it in such a he drops gems continuously, but in a fashion to say, listen, my daughter is worthy, and you need to feel privileged to be in her presence. Though I have taught her to be humble, she knows her worth from her father. She got that from her seed giver. So I just wanted to insert that point. Do you have anything before I continue, Laverne?
You're absolutely right. No, I don't have much more to say because you really have covered that. And this is true. And this is how fathers feel about their daughters. My father was so strong with me, I thought he was being strict.
Yes.
I thought he was being mean. But he could see stuff that I couldn't see because he's been there, done that. He's the man. He know what other men expect from his daughter. And he wanted to make sure that I knew. Right? So sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, you have to listen to your parents or your caregiver, the person that love you, because they wouldn't lead you wrong, right? You might not understand it, but old folks used to say, you're going to understand it by and by. You did? So just wait on it, because after they pass away, you're going to say, daddy used to say this. Mama used to say this. Grandma used to say this. You're going to remember, because life is going to teach you. And that's something that college can't teach you. You understand? There's no degree in that. Life will give you a degree. Now, I'm on mute.
Now, before I continue, I wanna add this. The reason we were motivated to speak on this topic is should be apparent to those that are familiar with this sector that we are currently in. And there's a lot going on where I believe that because it starts with the lack of a male role in the household, aka the father, the daddy, the male influence, the male energy, however you classify it. We have, and we are living in a time where there is a lot of grown men taking advantage because of they're looking at it as fresh fruit, as untainted female energy. And it's like a quest, a conquest. And I'm not saying all, but if it applies, then it applies. If the shoe fits, put it on, right? And we don't talk about this enough. This didn't just start. This has extended back generations upon generations for many reasons. And we're not going to get down to start going down that rabbit hole. But what I do want to mention is with a lack of paternal, paternal leadership in the household, it makes our children vulnerable, male and female alike. Okay, when even though we are making this subject applicable to male and female children, we are emphasizing the male, the father figure with the daughter because of the dynamic of the relationship and the added protection that comes into play when that father or that paternal energy is totally involved in her business and has her best interests at heart. So what I want to say to that is that if we recognize and we can figure out what the problem is, then maybe we can start seeking some solutions. Because even though we can be called old fashioned, we can be called antiquated. Oh, I hear a lot of the younger generation saying, well, you coming from a generation that don't work with our generation. And the reason why is because there's such a disconnect that you can't even relate to shit that worked, to things that were put in place by biblical principle and by ancestral experience and energy and generational legacies and information that has been passed down, that once the father and the male influence was taken out of the house, the children were left open, vulnerable to people that knew that they were in that position. And what do they do? What do the stronger species do to the weaker species? They seek them out to devour. They seek them out to conquer. They seek them out to control. They seek them out to decimate. Humans are no different in that aspect. So I just wanted to throw that in and we can continue.
And started from the beginning right there, Shirley. So that way people that's coming in can understand what this gentleman is saying. And hey, so y'all, Salaya bin y'all, welcome to the chat. Welcome to everybody that's coming in. Y'all hit that like button. Let's go, Shirley.
Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat.
Where is this boy at?
He just got here. He's outside waiting.
He ain't coming to the door to get you?
No.
Strike one. Don't like him. He's supposed to come meet your parents. Didn't nobody teach him that? You already got a strike. You couldn't get out the car to come meet the daddy. She ain't got no daddy issues. Her issues is that daddy spoiled her. If you taking her to eat, she expensive. I raised her that way. She gonna get extra fries and all kinds of stuff, so make sure you got some money. Why is your tent so dark on that car? What you trying to hide? Is this like your first date or something like that? Or how many dates have you going on? Can you count them with one hand, or is it like two hands and some toes? I just want to see if you like a little player or something, because, you know, back in my day, we ain't talking about me. You better make sure you drive safe with my daughter in the car. Let me see your driver's license. You a good driver? Let me see. That's for just in case. Tell me 20 fun facts about yourself. Just so you know, I got her location. And I will be watching it just like I'm on a date with y'all. It's gonna be all three of us, okay? Because I will pull up if I need to. Where y'all going to eat? Because I might want something. And if you bring me some food from the place that y'all go eat and it's cold when it get here, strike three, okay? I like my fries hot.
That part.
I love that part of him. He like, yeah, you know, here's what I do want to say. Y'all, with this comment of T. Smith, he said his grandmother was very strong, you know, and she was a spiritual woman and wasn't perfect, okay, and very good. And she was the glue to the family. Okay, ladies, with that being said, it brings up the point that I wanted to make. Thank you, T. Smith. You don't even know you reminded me of it. I want to say that the ladies of the family need to fall back when you have the man guiding you in a household sometimes when it comes to him, his vision and what he sees when a gentleman is coming to court the daughter, right? You got a whole lot of mamas when the daughter run to mama and say, mama, because I did this. Mom, dad is too strict. He tell me I got to come in before 8:30. Most of my friends, they out there till 9 and 10, or, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, and I was upset about that, right? And my mom would not intervene. She would not tell my father to fall back. She knew her place. She knew that, and she trusted that he had my best interest at heart. And so she allowed him to rule the household in that manner when it came to protecting his daughter and his sons. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right? So a lot of times mama put their mouth in business when it comes to the dad, chastising, correcting, directing the children. You have to have, this man have to have a voice in his household, in his kingdom. And we women need to trust him, right? until he shows us something different. You understand? Let him take the lead. Because again, the men have a different view than women, right? And you know how they had it said that the man thinks from one side of the brain and the woman thinks from another side of the brain, okay? And with both brains, to get together, everybody's on like the same accord. But just let him play his part, right? So fall back when it comes to again, when it comes to this dating thing, and and people coming in the house, trying to get the daughter or the son out. Let them do it. I just wanted to put that out there.
There was a time where that was an unspoken rule. I listen to
Right.
the terminology being used nowadays where the women, we should let the men lead. We should fall back and we should allow them to do this. We should allow them to take, first of all, and I know a lot of us women tend to fall short, especially in the times that we're living in the area of choosing wisely where we procreate and we bring children into this world for certain reasons outside of the reasons that we should be vetting the father of our children's, our husbands, our family leaders, et cetera, right? But now we are living in an era where it's such a feminist society, in my personal opinion, that it's the decision of the woman to let the man lead when we are out of order with that concept and with that ideology.
That's
I
my
just
point.
wanted to
I'm
add
sorry,
that.
Shirley. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't mean to cut you off, Shirley, but I just wanted to jump in so I wouldn't forget. You're right, Shirley. We right now it's like a new thing for a woman to let the man speak in a household,
Yes.
right? Yeah, and my mom and my father, and the reason why I keep prefacing them is because that's what I know. They used to have conversations in the midnight hours while all four of us, me and my brothers and sisters, were sleeping, discussing our future, discussing bills, discussing how they are running the household. You understand? So they had a plan because in their union, the plan was to build up a family, to build up a kingdom, to build together, right? So, with that being said, when men speak, listen to them because they have an idea of what they're trying to build. You know, I'm just
Absolutely.
saying they have to be able to express their creativity too. So, in other words, women, we are creators, right? We have the babies. They come out our vagina. They come from our womb. They lay underneath our heart for 41 weeks. We created them with the male assistance. Don't forget you didn't do that by yourself.
Mm,
He had to be there too. He planted the seed. You nurtured it in your womb. When they come out of your womb, when the baby come out of your vagina, when they come out of your body, the male is still there. His job don't stop there just because the baby is there. You understand? He is building a safe haven for the baby to be raised in a safe space, like a house with hot water running, electricity. He's working hard to keep that baby safe from weather and all this kind of stuff. Just think about this. And most women shut men out from that. We shut them out. We try to
And
tell them what to do. You see what I'm saying?
I just want to add on to what you said that I thought was super powerful. A woman's womb does not serve its purpose without a man's seed. There's a natural order of events that take place in procreation, which to me is a clear indication of how the pecking order, for lack of a better term, should go in a family unit. And I just wanted to add that.
Great point. And to wrap it up, it's a partnership,
Yes.
right? It's a partnership, right? And it's a relationship. And see, when you have a joint union in relationships, I said this in one of my videos, the last part of relationships is ship, SHIP. What
Mm,
does ships do? They sail by, they pass on, they drift into the water. If you don't have a anchor, aka foundation. Now we can go.
Wow. All right. And this is a good transition into this next video. We have been speaking on the father and the daughter relationships. Now we're going to give a perspective from the mother and son. Now, this mother is very passionate to the point where it may to some seem like she is elevating her voice. However, I understood her passion having sons of my own to be guarding over, to definitely be in, to try to prepare and raise to be an efficient partner for a good quality female. But then you have some females, many that will see and identify this type of a young male, and then they will try to usurp and say, okay, well, he's weak because he's too nice, or he's this because he's that. He's not the street dude. He's, as Kwame would say, the sidewalk dude. But I'm going to let her speak it because she can say it better than I can.
Him about the first restaurant he gonna take you to. What's the last restaurant your daddy took you to? Because you shouldn't be coming to him to be your daddy. That's not his role. It's a first date. I want y'all to bring that down to level 3. Y'all way on 10 with this foolishness and want to embarrass somebody. My second question is, have you ever been anywhere? Where do you take yourself? Let me see your checkbook registry. Let me log into your bank account and see what you feed yourself on a regular basis. Where do you take yourself for lunch or dinner? That's the next question I want you to answer. And then the third thing about this, come on back over here, because I need you to understand what time it is. Right. A real lady is going to be there for the purpose of what it's for. She's not looking for food because she's hungry that she can't afford so she can take it to go and get a doggy bag. I'm going to wrap this up to go. Why? You ain't going to have food tomorrow? That's a poverty mindset. So a first date, again, is to get to know the person, correct, to hang out, have fun. Y'all should be laughing and talking. It don't need to be a steakhouse. We don't even know if you worth a steak. You might just be worth a piece of bread. So ladies, young ladies, grow up. Get some maturity about yourself. Y'all buying titties, lashes, booties, and everything else, and you want somebody else to feed you. Save your money, stop buying your body, and put it to the side so you can have some food. That's not a man's responsibility. Now, once you dating a man, and once he get to know you, and y'all vibing, and he want to take you to a nice restaurant, guess what that means? You well deserving of that. He think enough about you to make a reservation. But some of you don't have reservations about your mouth. You talk bad, you disrespectful, you ghetto, you trifling, you don't have an income that substantiates what you want this man to do. You don't reserve being lazy. You full out lazy. You have no reservations on that. But you want the men to make a reservation for a restaurant, but you don't reserve what's between your legs. You passing it out like candy. You rated E for everybody.
Oh my, alrighty.
Well, she ain't never lied. She has. Tell me when she lied. That's all I want to know. She's telling the truth, right? Really, let's be real with it. Shirley cracking up over there.
No, her delivery was her delivery, but she got her point across. That's all I got to say.
Well, first of all, I must agree with this woman, because it's a lot of times when you're going on dates, when ladies are going on dates and stuff with the guys, they are requesting things that they really could, they're expecting too much, right? They're expecting too much. And like she said, when you're going on dates and you're dating someone, it's conversation, because conversation rules the nation. You need to know things about this man. Instead of worrying about what you're eating, Ask him, what type of family history do you have? Do y'all have high blood pressure? Do you have heart problems? Do you have any mental illness in your family? Is anybody with, like I said, sickle cell anemia? Do you want to know? It's in cancer and all the other diseases that can affect your Down syndrome and all kinds of diseases that can affect you guys if y'all do decide to um, have relations and have children. Okay, ask some questions about what happened to you in your previous relationship, if you were in one, or what happened. What was the breakup about? You need to know, right? What's your family history? What's your mom's maiden name? What lineage does she come from? You need to ask real serious questions if you're serious about a person. But here's the thing: nowadays, women are not thinking about that. They're thinking about going out on dates because the guy look cute. He may have some money that he can spend on her, and she's looking more at his pockets instead of his heart. She has underlying motives. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the motives are not always the right motives to have, right? So ask yourself, when you're going on a date, what is your intentions? Male or female? What are your intentions? Is it just sex? If so, say it. Make it plain. Then the other person will understand where you coming from. And if they agree to that, then there are two consenting adults agreeing to that. Then you won't have problems with worrying about somebody said you took something from them.
That
Let's
part.
be real. I'm talking to y'all real. And there's nothing new under the sun. And like I said, back in the days, we had these conversations. So again, that's coming from the foundation. You can't break away from that because now you got all this stuff, the date, grape, all these different things, right? Make it plain. I'm on mute.
We want to skip steps. We want to change the rules. We want to modify what the game looked like and then get mad when the results don't end up the way that you think that they should. When I listen to her, she tickled my funny bone. I ain't gonna even lie. Because when she said rated E for everybody, she made a lot of valid points. Though some hit dogs will holler, the fact of the matter is that when you do have sons, whether you are a mother or a father, and you are a parent that have invested in your children from the moment of creation to birth to adulthood, through all of the phases in between and all of the points of the journey in between, you're invested. And there's nothing worse, in my opinion, than setting your seed up because of your lack of involvement, your lack of instilling foundational principles, your lack of warning them or preparing them for the possibility that there are people out there that will look at you for different reasons, that will seek out things for selfish reasons. You have to be able to identify those. It takes a village to raise a child. I don't care if it sounds antiquated. I don't care if it sounds old fashioned. How is the today's rules working for everybody as a collective, much less individually? We have an entire epidemic of single parent households raising children. And I heard somebody, it was like such a sobering and hurtful but truthful statement that was made. Most single mothers are out here maintaining their children but not able to raise their children. There is a stark difference from providing children with what they need as opposed to actually raising them and spending time with them, knowing them knowing you. Y'all having the line of communication takes work, it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes trust, it takes all of these things. And if you are coming from a single parent household, whether it be a mother or a father raising children alone, you've taken out half of the equation of what was intended in order to complete a family unit. And that was
And
what I wanted to say.
That's a fact. Hey, Kodak, thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to say this too, just to add to this. It takes more, like you said, it takes more than one to raise it. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You can raise animals.
Mm.
I raise animals, right? You can raise animals. And animals, what you do with animals? You feed them and you shelter them. We do more than raising children. It's a difference. It's a difference between raising animals and raising children. You have to ask yourself, what are you doing? Are you giving them the bare minimum? Food, water, and shelter? If that's all you're doing, you're raising a child. But if you're giving them food, water, shelter, your time, your energy, listening to them, when they want to talk to you, anytime they call you, are you present? Because with animals, you don't have to necessarily be present. You can slide them the dog bowl with the water in it and the food in the other bowl. You can come in, go to work, come back, take them for a walk, let them take that go outside and piss and shit. Let's be real, right? And then they all right. But with children, it takes more. You are never, let me just put this out here. I don't care if your child is 18 years old. They're not grown. I don't care what laws that they put together. I have a son. He's 29. He'll be 29 years old in January. No, he'll be 30 in January actually. And my daughter is 25. She'll be 26 in November. I'm still nurturing them and caring for them, even though they're on their own, have their own place. They have their houses. They have their shit. They got their own jobs. They pay, but I'm still there. I'm present. Anytime they need me, day or night. And even when they don't need me, I'm checking in. You did? So when you guys are going out here dating young women and young men, and y'all come up with children, know that your life is gone. It's gone.
And
It's
you
not
know
about
it.
your ass no more.
Yes.
Just
And
know
you
that.
know it. Yes.
I'm gonna be real with y'all tonight. I'm not playing with you. Let's go.
And that's your whole, let me tell you something. You're talking about a job, you're talking about a classification, you're talking about that. A lot of times that seems and feels like a thankless job until it doesn't anymore. But I'm telling you, people don't, they underrate. You got people out here having children for the wrong reasons or for shallow reasons, not understanding and having no capacity to comprehend what that involves and how long, how that's a lifetime commitment. Like Ms. Yo Thought said, 18 is not grown, maybe in the eyes of the law, but in level of maturity. And then look at all of the strikes that can be against, or the disadvantages, or the way that it was orchestrated to run. Now you're lacking in some areas, so guess what, they're going to lack in certain areas. Can you imagine having an ill-equipped 18-year-old? These rules and laws were made for an equipped 18-year-old. And when you're dealing and raising children and maintaining them and not being able to be in a position to raise them, then 18, you better put some more years on that. But to echo what Miss Your Thoughts just said, that is super, super important. And I don't think a lot of people can really kind of wrap their head around it and comprehend that. Guess what? That is what they call family. It is not a sign of weakness, in my opinion, when you have grown adult children. I, just like her children, was on my own. I had children of my own that I was taking care of, relationships I was in, okay, bills I was paying that was just in my name, going to work every day, holding at times multiple jobs. But at the end of the day, when shit popped off, who do you think it was the first person I was calling? It was mama and or daddy.
Facts.
Period, point blank. I
Hell
was
yeah.
30, I think I was 38 when my dad passed. And 10 years later, my mom passed. I needed her up until the day she took her last breath, and I still have her energy with me. I still pray and have asked for protection from God and my ancestors.
All facts. That's a beautiful thing, Mr. King. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful thing. My birthday is next week. What is it? August the 7th.
Yes.
My mother is 82 years old. I still call and speak to my mother and need my mother for advice and guidance. I'm overgrown. She's always been here for me from the time I was born. My father has passed. He was always here too. But I'm telling you, you're gonna always need that anchor. I don't care how old you get. And for the ladies or the women and the men too, you men too, because we're talking to both of you guys. Listen, you have children and you say, okay, well, I got my children, I got my own little space, I'm grown, I'm raising my children, I got my family. You think you're grown, but I'm telling you, it's gonna come a time when you're gonna pick up that phone because life gonna throw you some curve balls that you're not gonna be able to catch. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna break down so bad that you're gonna have to call mama, daddy, or anybody that's that type of parental person in your life for guidance and help. You may say, I take care of my family, I take care of my children, but sometimes the paycheck may get garnished. You have a garnishment because you're behind in some bill that you forgot all about or some payment and you come up short. Baby need milk and pampers. Who you gonna call? Ain't Ghostbusters, and it ain't your so-called friends because they're in competition with you. So you can't borrow from them. If you do, you get $5 or $10. They can't help you get out your hole. So who you gonna call? Mama and daddy. So you are not grown, not as grown as you think you are. That's my spiel. I'm on me.
Listen, look, I think I'm trying to upload this one video, but I think I uploaded it to the wrong spot. So if it automatically hits the stage, then it is what it is.
It's
Um,
good.
but I'm totally with you because this is a conversation that you can always expound on. You can always hit different topics relating to it. Family is a broad topic because it's so vital and it's so important.
And
And
that's
when
why
you,
the title is, excuse me, sure, that's why the title is
yes,
All in the Family. It's not about just you when you go out here dating, because the family is going to be enthroned in that situation that you choose to bring to it in some way. So the family do have a say so as to who you're going to lay with and add children to, because they're going to be the ones that's going to help you take care of this thing and this situation, this baby. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
That's the
most
point.
cultures look at family and the dynamics of their family being cohesive and gelled together and working together, and they all have a family business, and a lot of them live in one big house, and they share finances, they share expenses, they share financial responsibilities. They Most cultures look at that as given their grade to their family, their worth, that's their credence, that's how they are presented to the public or to people that are onlookers. You have very few cultures, such as I will go out and say black culture, to where it is looked at a lot as a weakness if you are 20 something years old still living at home. Men are emasculated for doing so, not knowing what the dynamic or the ultimate goal is, or what kind of reinforcement they may be getting, what they're being shielded from, because they have elders on hand and they have a level of communication and cohesiveness to be able to say, guess what? No, yeah, I understand you got your own life, but I met that young lady and there's something off about her. And this is what it is. Now, whether they listen and take heed or not, that is going to ultimately be up to them. But to me, there's strength in numbers. There's strength, just like when you go to war, one person can be picked off a lot easier than a whole army full of soldiers. So what makes the dynamic any different when it comes to the family unit? And
Right.
at the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yes. And I want to piggyback off what you said. Let's bring this back to the foundation. Let's bring this around to the foundation. Where did people come from? And why are these different cultures doing the things that we see them do? Like you said, Mr. Kim, you got different cultures that pack, they live with each other, they help each other in households, they all gather and, they live together. Let me tell you one thing, and not just you, but y'all. Let me tell y'all something. We are the Aboriginal people. We are the original people. We are the Nijis. And what you see other people doing now is what the foundation, the Nijis, the Aboriginal, the real people, the first people, we taught them this. They took what we taught them and they used it and they made you forget about who you are, where you come from, how you're supposed to walk, talk, and live. You lost your history. You forgot who you were. They know who you were. We have a lot of copy and paste niggas. It just didn't start today. It started way back in the beginning of time. And yes, I came up with that phrase, copy and paste niggas. Look at my video, Man in the Mirror. That's where that term came from. Me. Because I see a lot of copy and paste niggas. We're acting like everybody else. They have copied and pasted us. Go back to once you came. Know thyself. Go back. All this new shit, that's new to them. You still gonna have to go back home to mama. I'm just saying, and daddy. Don't forget that.
And there's no shame in that. Where have we gotten to a point in society where we have attached shame to whether you're just because you're an adult that you still don't need guidance, or you still don't need someone that has your best interests at heart, somebody that's connected to you, that knows you because they know thyself.
There's no
And
shame in it, Mr. Kimmy. There's no shame in it because first of all, they trying to make us feel like it's shame in it. Again, a house divided falls. They have divided our households, and that's why we are falling as a people. And they have adopted our way of living and try to tell us different, to live another way, to
come
go
on.
after the big butt and the smile,
Ooh.
go after the man on the white horse. No, go after the man that's a protector, a provider, and a guider. That's who you go after.
And
Now,
they use the women to do it.
and women are falling, Black women in particular. Why Black women? Because again, we are the original Nijis, Aboriginal, and we are the original people. And these women, Black women, have gotten in their head, and I can go deep in this. When we came with all this old new women movement, the women want to go out to work, they want to be equal rights. They want look, keep your equal ass at home and equally do your job at home and take care of your children and things like that while the men go out and provide. You still a provider. You're a provider for your children's needs, for their emotional needs, for their educational needs, mama. You are you nourish them and the daddy. You need to be there to grow the food. You still working and you're getting paid for it in ways that is bigger than money. It's because your generational wealth is worth more than any dollar that you could spend.
Mm.
Now, I'm going on mute because I'm passionate about this subject. Hey, Bolo.
That makes two of us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I know Laverne has been greeting people and I've been in my bag. She's been kind of dealing with the comments in the chat. But I just want to also say shout out to the chat. We got T. Smith in the building. We got my Bolo, my babes in the building. Appreciate you sliding through as always. We got Salaya Ben Yah in the house. Definitely always our grace with your presence and appreciate you as well, T. Smith. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the comments. I always say I ain't for everybody, but I'm for somebody. And that's as long as God continues to give me the passion and give me the ability and the resources to be able to do his work, then I'm good with that. And I'm totally satisfied with that because I knew from being a little girl that I was unique in my own right and I was put here for a specific purpose. Therefore, I have at this stage of my life embraced it. So I just want to say I appreciate all of the support, no matter how it's given. Now, we do have one more little video clip. Actually, the one I uploaded, I'm going to insert that one before we do the last one that we have on deck. And then if anybody would like to come up and, have any thoughts that they want to share, we'll definitely, if Laverne co-signs for it, we can drop the link. But I definitely want to, there was this mother, and I don't know if I think she was a single mom, but I just wanted to show the dynamic of the investment and the dedication that she had to her son and how it paid off. So let's just go ahead and look at this real quick and then we'll move on. I wanted to show that for a specific reason. Whatever you pour into your children, you will get out. If you show your children that you care, that you're invested, that you put their interests first, because they really didn't ask to be here. That was a conscious decision that the mother will ultimately make, even though the father should have a voice. And with some women, or hopefully more women than some, he will have a voice to be able to say, that is my child just as much as it is yours. However, what I will say is that whatever you pour in and put into your seeds or anything in life, you will get in return. And what she did is she sacrificed, this particular mom sacrificed her entire, just like when Yo Thought said it earlier in the stream, that your life is no longer your own when you procreate and you have children. This mother understood the assignment and she sacrificed because her son knew that he wanted to be a pilot early on. And she not only supported him in his dream, but she facilitated and made sure that he had options and resources to be able to help that manifest in his real life. But what that did is it went deeper than just her fulfilling her duties as a mom, but it also put him in position to be able to hopefully select and be prepared to gain a wife that is of the same ilk as himself. But it started with the seed giver and the life giver. And that was what I wanted to say on that.
Good one. And now let me bring this around here, y'all. Let's check this out. Now listen. Okay, so everybody have different belief systems, right? When it comes to spirituality, God, and all this stuff, right? Everybody has that. I'm not trying to change that, right? But I just want you to open your mind and think about what you do know. What you do know for sure. What you can see with your naked eye. If you have a seed, I don't care what kind it is, and you plant it, just one seed. Once that seed grow, it's going to bear fruit. Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Right? It's going to grow, it's going to come up and it's going to bear some fruit, right? So you're going to see that seed that you plant, that you put in the ground, become a plant. Same difference with a woman having children and a man plant his seed in her. The baby comes out, right? Okay. Now, if the mom, God forbid, should pass away, and the father pass away, that seed is still here. What is the seed? The child, right? Now, they don't pass to whether it's heaven, hell, whatever you believe in. But you know that seed is still here, whether it's a boy child or a female child. Now, that child right there get a seed planted in her, and the same cycle continues. What do you know? What you know is you, the originator of that pack of seeds that planted that seed, was born again. You are born again through your seeds, through human beings. You're born again in that way. That you know for sure. So, in knowing this, that should make you aware and more conscious to be able to nurture the seed in the proper manner and raise it, water it in the way that it should grow. How should it grow? It should grow in a way where it will continue to make healthier seeds, healthier generations. And you, the originators, the mom and dad, whoever had that baby, will continue to live this life, even though you're spiritually not here as the base. Do you dig? Your bloodline keeps running on. Now, that's just a thought I wanted to give you.
Very good point. That
Because
was
this
deep.
is what's really happening.
Mhm.
So this is what you know. You see this in nature. Life mimics nature. A lot of us get tired right now this time of year. Right, Miss Akimi?
Yes.
We ready to go to sleep around about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. Don't know why we tired. It's not because of the dinner that you ate. It's because the seasons are changing. And when the seasons change, you come from the earth. Your body is changing. Your body is changing right now, getting from the summer, going into the seasons of the, winter, spring, summer, and fall. It's going in there. It's a cycle. And I said all that to say this. It's very important when our children are growing up and becoming to be mature enough to be able to go dating. But you have to make sure that you vet the people that they are connecting now to connecting with the person, the other person. You got to make sure that's another strong seed so that we can have healthier, human beings. And we can live a long time in peace and harmony. Just try to understand where I'm coming from. I know what I said may be a little too deep for some of y'all, because some of y'all like, yo, what in the hell are you talking about? I'm talking about real life. I'm talking about stuff you can see. I'm talking about being born again. I'm talking about making sure that you have healthier seeds, that your children are not mixing the blood with tainted blood. When I said tainted blood with, like I said, sickle cell anemia, different types of diseases that can cause your family harm. That's what I'm talking about. And we mamas and daddies need to be more present in our children's life and more attentive to what they're doing, what they are going through, and guiding them and keeping them safe. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
I wanted to touch on, okay, so I'm being led right now.
Let's go.
When it comes to what you said, Miss Yo, the first thing I thought when you said tainted blood is the epidemic that we're currently in and have been going through in cycles for decades. Because I've been alive for decades, right? So I can't go back any further than my personal experience or during my time here. But my point is that we're going through a current epidemic of STDs. That is tainted blood. That is a form of tainted blood.
Facts.
When you have people laying with people that they don't know because they look good, because they fit the IG criteria, because they look appealing, because their walk is sexy because how their clothes fit, lay on their hips right. You don't know, hide no hair about these people, about their legacies, about their DNA, about where they come from, their lineage, things that absolutely make a difference when you start procreating. And then you get, and that's the least of people's worries. When people are out here contracting diseases for little to nothing because of external gratification. How low vibrational is that? How shallow is that? We all go through our phases. I did it too. I went through my phases where if you didn't fit a certain external criteria in appearance, how you smelled, how you dressed, how you walked, what you drove, where you lived, I wasn't interested. And I made some poor decisions. But it didn't take me long, honey, because it took me a couple of poor decisions, and I was like, okay, well, the common denominator is not them, it's me. So what is it in me that keeps me gravitating towards such shallow external stimuli? And I'm here to tell you that people are getting death sentences and shortened lifespans because of toxic blood. Why so? Because of external stimulation and the flesh ruling. We're not thinking about family. We're not thinking about generations to come. We're not thinking about investing. We're not thinking about the consequences of our actions. You got people out here, you got women out here having a whole generation, I'm talking a whole litter of children. And so if the fathers that they do know, that the children do know that they are fathers, some of them don't even know who their fathers are because the mothers aren't using enough discretion about themselves and their temples, much less care about the children and the effects to come for that. And then you got fathers out here that's procreating, planting seeds and moving around like they just oblivious to it all.
Yeah, that's true. And you know something, Mr. Kim, let me tell you why. First of all, bloodlines are being tainted, like you said, for many reasons. But I can remember, and when I got married in 1981, you could not get married without a blood test first.
That part.
They took away when people, it was a law that people had to have blood tests first before you could get married. So the two people would be tested. That blood would be tested for all types of diseases and things like that. You would be tested, right? After that, then you get your marriage license. After the blood tests come back, then you can go apply for your marriage license. You get the marriage license, then you go go to the courthouse or go ahead and get married. That was the steps. They cut all of that out. Why do you think that they did that? So that's a thing that that people need to think about. That's one point I want to make. And the next point I want to make is old people used to say, everything that glitters isn't gold. People would say, oh, that don't make no sense. These old people talking in riddles and rhymes. I don't understand that. That goes to what you just said. Everything that glitters isn't gold. Outside is what you don't look for when you're looking at a person. But most people do because they're trained to do so through television and the people that they be around, their surroundings, and what they were taught and what their little values is when it comes to making things appear to be beautiful on the outside. That's more just like somebody's house. If it's pretty on the outside, they got a nice yard, they got the house painted and everything. You open the front door, come in there, house look like shit, clothes everywhere, people just as dirty as hell. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, the house could be looking nice on the outside and the inside. But they got people that's living in the house that's living in misery because they're arguing, fussing, fighting. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We talk about all in the family now. Okay? So we just need to get back to the basics. That's the point I'm really trying to make. And we've strayed and swayed away from it. And that's why our people, we're in chaos. That's why this is a chaotic world that we're living in right now. Because we've made it such. Because we strayed away from all in the family values, building the foundation to raise a family. You have to build the foundation to have a good relationship, even if you don't want children, even just with the man and the woman. You still have to have a foundation. There's a beginning and an end to everything. When you read a book, there's a beginning and an end. And in the middle, all types of shit can happen, all kinds of twists and turns in a book. That's the same with your life. But you are the creator of your life. You create your world, period. Let's go.
Man, listen, that was powerful. We could go on and on. We're going to go to this last video. It's a very short clip, and it's from the Breakfast Club, so I'm going to put up an overlay. But we're going to listen to the audio, and it is speaking on a father with his daughter and what his expectations are, as well as his guidance to her when she dates. And I thought this was powerful, or we thought this was powerful. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Your daughter on social media, she starts dating. What's your opinion on that?
This is what I tell her. Any guy you meet, the first thing that you call yourself like and you spending time with, the first thing you do is what?
Bring him around you.
Bring him around me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So now, if he disrespecting you, he disrespecting me too. Mm-hmm. He done got cool with me. He done looked in my eyes. Mm-hmm. I'm saying we done smoked a blunt together, watched a game together. We done had some food together. So like her pop's cool. So when y'all in the heat of the moment arguing, you know it's you can't say because you know who you got to answer to.
That's right.
And me and you we got a bond, not a real bond, but you dating my daughter. You know what I'm saying? So
respect.
That's the first thing you got to do. Because anytime I was dealing with a female and her dad was in the picture, it was always in the back of my head. It's like I can't do old school like that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Boom. And the key words were, when I dated a girl and her dad was in the picture, it gave him pause. He thought about it before he went left with her, because it wasn't just her he was accountable to. It was the family, starting with the head of the household.
Yeah.
I can't cuss her out right now.
Oh, go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Okay, I thought the video was finished because I was going to say something. Let it keep going. Okay, I'll wait till
It's almost done, but I couldn't. I tried to let it finish.
Yeah, I got you, sis. Okay.
I can't
do old school.
I can't do him like that. You know what I'm saying? He cool. You know what I'm saying? So I tell him that, you know what I mean? That go for my sisters. That go for anybody. Mm-hmm. If you dating somebody, bring him around the men in your family and let them vet him. You know what I'm saying? Let them get a bond together.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. Let them go. Okay, I want to say, yeah, here's one thing that you shouldn't do when it comes to your children dating, right? You do vet the person, and I have 2 children. I have a girl and a boy. So I'm talking from both angles. When they bring someone to me and their father to meet, I'm respectful, I'm listening, I'm observing them, and I know they're nervous and all this kind of stuff, and it's cool. But once they started dating and all this stuff, listen, I'm not going to be friends with them. I'm not going to smoke weed with them or have drinks with them or party with them. It's a pecking order. I'm not on that level. You understand? And so it's a lot of parents that are partying with their children and their children's mates or friends, girlfriends and boyfriends. That's out of bounds. Where do you draw the line in that instance? You can be cordial and everything, but you shouldn't do these things right here because they would lose a level of respect for you. Hold your position as the one that's overseeing the relationship that they're having. You know what I'm saying? Or be there if they have questions for you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? To guide them. You don't want to do that. But I know in this day and time, there are a lot of people that's doing that in the 20th century. That's a no-no. Now, with that being said, I told you my daughter's 25, my son is 29, right? Now, on occasions, if we're having dinner and we're going to have a glass of wine, and I know that they will drink, and they drink, they will have a glass of wine. That's a difference, right? That's not partying. We're socializing. We're fellowshipping with one another. If they want to smoke their little weed and stuff, they do that thing. I know what they do, but they respect me. Mom, is it okay if I smoke? Yeah, go on in your spot, which is on the back porch or in your own space back there. Yeah, go ahead, right? But I'm not doing that with you. Not like that. I messed with my daughter the other day on the porch. You remember I told you I did a video and I said, blow it over here, just to be messing around. But I don't smoke that, right? But even if I did, I wouldn't do it with you.
Right.
It's a level to this thing. If you want respect, you have to carry yourself in a way wherein they will look up to you and they will respect you, right? I just wanted to put that out there, okay?
Definitely. And all parents have their own personal approaches with their children based off of their own personal experiences, maybe their knowledge or lack thereof, the way how unique and individualistic and different children are. Like I've got two sons and they couldn't be more different in many aspects. I learned very quickly that I could not have the same approach with both of them on many levels as opposed to dealing with them on the same level because they're not the same person. So I take into respect and account with that. So, there's no judgment, but what works for you and what works for your family and your family values accounts for something at the end of the day. There's no judgment because my approach may not work or be taken seriously for another child or somebody else's child, but for mine I've had to tweak it. I've had to learn my child has had to learn me. We're forever evolving and changing, but again, I totally agree with your thoughts when she says that I am not your friend first. I am your parent. I am your example. I am your first mentor. I am the person or the first point of contact that you are going to be looking at for some type of guidance, for some type of instruction, for some type of level of respect. And that's why a lot of these kids, when they don't respect their parents, they don't respect nobody.
That's it. They don't. They really don't. And here's another thing. I don't want y'all to think that the reason why I don't do that with my children, listen, that I'm so saint. No, ma'am. I made it very clear to my son and daughter, me and your daddy used to have a ball. I smoked weed, I drank, I partied to the midnight hours. Me and your daddy cut some rugs. But we were also working at the same time and all that. We did all that before you even came here. See, so when you get here, children, mom and dad already have been there, done that. That's why I can tell you what to do and what not to do. You understand? So it's not like I didn't have the experience of smoking weed. It's not like I'm looking down on that. I know what that thing do. I know how it make you feel. I know all of that, right? It's just that it comes a time in your life wherein you have to grow up. You don't stay stuck down when you're 18 and through your 20s and 30s. You don't stay there. You don't stay there. So you have to evolve as a parent as well. You can't tell a child what to do if you ain't never did it. You understand? Or if you don't know other people that you was around that has done it and you watched that stuff and saw the experience and the outcome of what happened to them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a time and place for everything. And like you said, Mr. Kimmy, it comes to be a level of respect, and that's how you keep that respect level. And the children will respect you. And yeah, I'm not telling nobody how to raise our children. No, not at all. Not at all. Because like you said, every kid is different. And like I got a boy and a girl. And you're right. They're just different, totally different day and night, right? And I don't love one more than I love the other. I love them the same, and I'm going to chastise them and correct them whether they like it or not. I don't care how grown they get, because I am mama until the day I die, and they understand that.
And I want to add too that no disrespect, and this is not a sub to anybody. This is just real talk, because I've been in of course, a period in my life where I had no children, and then I had children. So there is a different contrast between the two. But I'm here to say that until you have children and you go through that journey of raising them, and you go through all those steps and trials and tribulations, those ups and downs, you having issues, you growing and evolving, you making mistakes, you making poor decisions, all while you're having children, and then you still come out and manage to come on the other out on the other side. There is no comparison, because I am not the same person I was before I had children to after I had children. And I'm definitely not the same
Amen.
person when my children were young, small, and totally dependent upon me, to where now they're grown, or they're growing into their own level of independence without needing mama and daddy so much. But I'm just saying that there is such until you know, no disrespect again to nobody that don't have them, but you can't really speak on parenting unless you do have them and you've gone through your own personal journey, because it's a totally different life, a totally different world, totally different experience. And I just want to add this, and then I'm gonna go on mute. When you have relationship with your children, you got to do the work with your children early, because when they get to a certain point where they're no longer feeling, taking, relying on every word and hanging on every word that you're saying, and now they're growing into their own, and they're finding out who they are, and they're growing into their own evolution. Guess what? Those principles and whatever, or the lack thereof of whatever you did not instill in them when they were young, that is going to determine the direction that they go into. So you can try to control them, you can go through their phones, you can restrict them, you can put parameters on them and boundaries. But if they don't respect you and they don't feel that you have invested enough in them, they're not going to come to you first, if come to you at all. So
That's a fact.
that has to be, you don't get a do-over on that. That has to be established. And the only person, unfortunately and painfully, that you have to blame is yourself at the end of the day. So get it right. If you are blessed enough to get a word or two, it doesn't have to be from us, it can be from anybody that resonates with you, resonates with your spirit, it strikes a chord with you. Don't let time is fleeting and it goes by super fast. Don't let the opportunity for you to bond with your children and to gain trust and understanding, to where they can come to you with anything, to even be open enough to receive and respect anything that you have to say regarding them, when they start venturing out into to this world, and pursuing their own relationships and their own lives.
That's perfect. And I want to say this too, Mr. Kimmy, just to follow up to what you were saying when it comes to like the raising children and giving the bond, and if you don't have children. But here's the thing. If you have nieces and nephews, or
Yes.
and family members, that those children become your children.
Yes. Good
They
one.
become your children, because I not only have my son and my daughter, but I have my sister's children. They're just like mine. I'm auntie to them. And and they respect me and all this stuff like that. So you don't really, but I do what you're saying about, they don't understand. You can't understand if they didn't come from underneath your heart. But there is a type of love, because first of all, you were born male and female with the nature of having children or procreating. So you're going to have that instinct in you anyway, right? So whether you have children or not, and if you want children, find some children, like in your family that you can nurture and because some people are not fortunate to have them, right? Some people don't even want them. Do you see
Yes.
what I'm saying? So it's to each his own, but at the same time, I just wanted to put that out there. That's one point. And the last point I want to make on this topic, when you are in a relationship and you're married to someone or you are cohabitating with them, living with them, they're your lifetime partner, however you want to put it, just know that you cannot re-raise nobody. Don't think that you can re-raise that person, change them. Because a lot of men and women think that they get a partner and they say, well, I don't like this quality of that person. I know, I'm just going to overlook that right now. But because later on in the relationship, he going to change or she going to change or I'm going to be able to do this to make them. No, ma'am. No, sir. You can't re-raise nobody. They are who they are. Don't overlook that in making your decision to be with a lifetime partner. That's what I wanted to say. You can't. It don't work like that. Yeah. Because you see what I'm saying? You get it, Mr. Kim? I know you get it. We don't have those
Yes, I
discussions.
do. And I'm glad that you actually expounded on that. Sometimes you go to articulate yourself and it doesn't come out in the way that you feel it or that your spirit moves you. But you definitely gave credence and clarity to, because that's very true. Just because you didn't birth those children, there's always somebody's child that you can embrace and teach and drop gems into. And I don't want to discount that or minimize that. So I appreciate that. Yes.
Yes, right. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this conversation. We have, I think, we have something that we're gonna might read it out or Miss Kimmy, the last little thing. So in case you need like an outline when your children are coming to you because they're coming to the stage where they want to date, we have a thing where a certain amount of questions that you would ask them, right? So we may go over that briefly. And then we're going to end this live stream because I believe that we have given you enough to start a foundation when it comes to being all in the family and dating, when your children and stuff start to dating. And we're just here to help, and hopefully you got something from this live stream. We appreciate everybody that stepped through. Hey, Miss Ann, I'm glad you came through. Nice to see you, honey. It's nice to see everyone. We really appreciate y'all coming through. We're going to do better by trying to get on this jigamabob here. But again, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Although there is a lot of stuff going on, Miss Akima and I are declaring that we're going to slip in something that you can use in your daily life other than beef and nigger noise. That's coming from me. Mr. Kim ain't said it. I said that. Okay? Just so y'all know. But again, I'm not knocking anybody. Do what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. And like I said, this thing right here is not paying me nothing at all. I'm doing it because I love my people. I want to see my people to grow. And if change come, so be it. Of course. Who don't like to have some change, some gas money? I'm just saying. But it's not about the gas money for us over here.
Yes.
Although we appreciate you all showing your appreciation, even by the kind words, the like button, or what have you, even your input. You know what I'm saying? With the back and forth in the conversation, right? Just know that. All right. Now I'm on mute.
That's perfect. No, definitely. So quickly, we're just going to go down. I will go down the timeline and kind of summarize, just because, we like to not just present the issues and the complexities and the problem, but we also like to offer some plausible solutions or tools that you can use. We can all use something to better our situation, to improve our mindset, to help facilitate better relationships. Definitely can't go wrong in that area. So number one, I just want to touch on logistics and safety. So when your kids are going out and they're hitting the dating age and they trying to hit the streets, they anxious, they excited, they think they got it all under control. They think that whoever they're going out with that they've accurately vetted, though they've never had the experience of doing so. But as parents, again, hopefully the line of communication is open enough to where they will be able to receive whatever questions as being inquisitive and looking out for their safety, and not looking at it as you being nosy or invading on their privacy or their private space, right? So the first thing, where are you going? And what will y'all be doing? I always say, I'm in my kids' business. Well, when they're kids, I'm in their business. Period. Because I'm still, if you're a minor, I'm still responsible for you. And even if you're living under my roof and you're in my household and you grown and you're depending on me for anything, guess what? You still gonna call mama and daddy when something hit the fan, right? So if I always say, if the police come to my door, what information do I have to tell them? God forbid that happens, but it does happen. But worst case scenario, if they come knocking on my door, guess what? What am I going to have to tell them when they say, well, where did they say what they were going? Did they tell you who they were going with? To me, that should just be common courtesy, right? There's nothing being invasive about that, as long as there's a level of trust and open communication. Second thing, who's going to be there? What kind of crowd is going to be there? What environment are you going to be in? How are you getting there and how are you coming back? Who is driving? Do they have a valid driver's license? Is the car in their mama name and daddy name? That's just me, right? Because that'll tell you a lot of what you need to know about their particular situation. And let's establish what time you may be home. You may not have a specific, maybe, to the minute time that you have to be home, but let's get some type of a gauge to where we have a level of understanding. Because I know with me and Miss Yo, when our kids go out or our children say that they're going to go out of town or whatever, there's a line of communication where we have an expectation to say, okay, well, we're expecting you home because this is what you said, or this is what we agreed upon. And if it's too much out of that window, then we will be concerned as to what's going on, and then we can take steps to find out what's going on with your current situation. I don't think it's too invasive to ask for people's contact information. Sometimes people have very common first and last names. Maybe that's just not enough. A phone number. Everybody's got a cell phone. Even babies got phone numbers. Even people that the little toddlers that can't talk and have, they're not potty trained, they still got devices in their hands. Let's just have some type of open line of communication in case you misplace your phone, you lose your phone, you get stranded somewhere. We already working on limited information, right? So the next thing that I want to point out, behavior and expectations. What are the expectations? What attracts you to this person? What do y'all plan on doing when you go? Are you willy-nilly in it, or do you have an executed plan that you want to go out and get to know each other? Even if it's just to say, mom and dad, we're going to go out, have go bowling or go to the drive-in movie and have some snacks or whatever the case may be. Whether it's honest or it's true or it's not, at least there's an understood spoken expectation between that parent and that child that's engaging into the dating world. What are the rules about alcohol or drug use? If they under 21, chances are that should be a mutual understanding and an unspoken rule, but it may have to be, something that you remind your children about. That I know your friends might be doing it, but that doesn't mean that you need to be doing it. Especially dealing with the environment, the people that you're hanging around, you in, new environments with new people. You need to have your head on a swivel and have all of your awareness intact, right? We're going to go through the list. We're almost done, y'all. How would they handle uncomfortable situations? Role play scenarios. They may be in order with you and your children, right? This is a serious thing because you are trusting them and trusting and hoping that people that they are around, but a lot of times that's not the case, that they're going to be treated with the same love and respect that they're treated with at home. So how if stuff pop off, how will you react? Because you ain't really never been in this situation before. That's why role playing and having those type of scenarios will help. At least feed them a mindset that something could happen, and you want to be always better to be ready and stay ready than to get ready, right? Open communication, we talked about that. Remind them that you are there for them, period. That has to happen prior to them, in my opinion, going out on, because whatever relationship level has been established as far as communication, that's what they're going to lead with, especially now that they're feeling themselves, smelling themselves, and now they want to go out here and think they know everything, knowing good and well they don't have a clue as to what's out there waiting on them potentially, right? So that's pretty much it, y'all. I don't
Yeah,
want to be the dead horse.
yeah, and I think that's a good one. So you gave them a whole. I feel like we gave them a whole, everybody a whole bunch of stuff to go off of when it comes to your children dating and knowing that it's all in the family. Everybody have a role to play in a family, right? I'm talking about the mom, the dad, the children. They have a role to play, and basically, in a nutshell, don't take your ass off nowhere without your parents knowing where the hell you going. You ain't grown. I'm just
That
simplifying
part.
what Miss Akima said. That list that she gave you, it's all good and dandy, but I'm strict and I'm straight up, and I tell my children, uh, let me know what your black ass said at all times. That's what I say. So anyway, that's what you need to do. Let your children, know what's going on in your in your family. Just know what's going on, right? Don't be oblivious. Don't let them tell you know anything either. And as far as those online dating apps, leave that alone. Leave that alone, because you don't know if you're talking to an avatar. You don't know if you're talking to a catfisher or whoever these people are. You don't know if it's somebody that's trying to lure your children, because the internet is a dark place. Meet people in person. You take them people to your home. Let your mom and dad meet them. If you don't have a mother or a father, if you whoever else is in charge or help raise you, let them meet them people so they can vet them and tell you what they think about your so-called beau or baddie boo. Let them tell you, and then heed their advice. Most of all, know that they've been there, done that, and they wouldn't lead you astray. So something that they're saying is true. You don't know everything. You got to get there. And the only way to get there is to pay attention to what's being told to you so you can have a nice, long, prosperous life, right?
Amen.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that their days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Mm,
And there you go. Now,
amen.
I know y'all got to go to work and stuff like that. And me and Mr. Keenan, it's time for us to roll out. Shirley, we need our beauty rest. We get up at the crack and we got to make something move, right?
Amen to that. Well, we
Thanks,
appreciate
everybody.
everybody coming through. We appreciate the participation and engagement in the chat. And just the most important thing, your time and your ear. And we love y'all, and we'll see y'all next time.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.